Hello, everybody, and welcome to On the Sofa with Sal. And today I'm speaking to one of our lovely foster carers in Essex, Sharon. Welcome, Sharon. Well, I'm sitting in your living room, aren't I? So, yeah, I'm making myself at home, as I do. And for people out there, Sharon has a habit of collecting rabbits. And this is why I've got rabbits on my cot. So we've known each other for a little while now, and I came out to see you many years ago when you were interested in transferring to our agency. Can you just tell the people out there what made you unhappy about the agency you were with, and why were you looking to transfer?
I was in a real big fostering agency, and when I first thought about fostering, I wasn't sure where to go. So I went on the internet, found them on Facebook, and I just got lost and found that when there was a problem out of hours, especially as a new carer, you was ringing out of hours, they didn't know who you was, they had no idea of your children, so you was phoning up and sort of basically talking to a stranger, which when you're in a situation where you need help, you need somebody to understand you, your child, and what you're going through, not somebody to go, well, where are you again? And what's your child's name? They had no idea of the person I was or the situation I was living in. So I was really struggling with that and the lack of support and nobody, and changing social workers all the time. And I just felt really lost and wasn't sure if it was the right career for me. As much as I loved that job, I just didn't feel that I was getting the right support.
And a lot of carers do quit because of that lack of support. So just going back to the transferring process, if there's carers out there and they're not happy where they are, how would you describe that process of transferring?
It was very easy when I transferred over to Apex. I was very nervous, and I was very nervous about giving notice as well, because I wasn't sure how it would all go. But you come out and spoke to me. We had quite a few chats, and then it was just such an easy process, and the stress was very minimal, which is something you always worry about. The child I had in care was totally oblivious to us swapping over, really. They met you, but they weren't affected by anything, and it was an easy transition. It was the best transition I made.
Brilliant. Yay! So in terms of the transfer process, what were your specific concerns about transferring over to Apex?
I was worried about how I would be treated after I'd put my notice in. I was worried about whether I would lose my placement, and she was a long-term placement as well. She'd been with me 3 years. And the main problem was the lack of support. So I was worried that would drop during that process. But you stepped in again. You were calling me more than my social worker at that particular time was, just to check in, because things got a bit bumpy, but that was through nobody's fault. But you was checking in, you was checking in with her schooling. So it could have been a very difficult time, but you made that process so much easier because you cared straight away. As soon as we met, you took over that role and you was there.
Yeah. And I would say there's a lot of really good carers that are working for agencies or local authorities that aren't always supporting them in the right way, aren't treating people with respect. And we will really work hard to make that process seamless, and also tell you what your legal rights are. Legally, you are self-employed. You are allowed to transfer to another agency. And the young person, if they've been with you for a while, they can't be removed. It is not in their interest to disrupt like that. So I appreciate sometimes you might feel pressurised and scared by the agency that you're with. But in reality, that's hot air, and we will deal with that very firmly. And we talked there about support. So just touching on that, how, you moved over to get more support. Has your requirements being fulfilled? Does Apex support you properly?
Well, 100%. I mean, we know that we've always got somebody on the end of a phone 24 hours, 7 days a week. I also know that if I pick up the phone to you or text you, regardless, you've even replied to me when you've been in America and holiday or whatever, there is always somebody on the end of the phone. Everybody knows everybody. We've got a WhatsApp group so we can reach out to other foster carers. We have regular support groups, face-to-face ones and online ones. There is always somebody there, always, and there's always a friendly voice.
Yeah.
And I've had times where I've been in meltdown, absolutely breaking my heart, and social workers checked in 2 or 3 times, and haven't always necessarily been on call, but because they care, they're there.
Yeah. Yep. And we have amazing foster carers like yourself. And your young person that you transferred with did eventually move on because they were a teenager. And then you got 2 little sisters who are so cute and a little bit naughty, as is often the case. And they should be with you long term now, shouldn't they?
They're long term match.
Which is great. And we do a significant percentage of our children are long term, because if they can't return home, we want to have that continuity for them. And I know that your girls feel very much part of your family, your extended family, and that's adorable. And now, can I ask you, thinking back, before you started fostering, you had options. You could have gone into a work environment, but you chose to foster instead. What influenced that decision?
I'd always been in the childcare setting, and then the situation and my whole lifestyle had changed totally. And it was something I always wanted to do. So once my life had settled back down, I decided to go forward with fostering. And it's the best decision that I ever made. And nothing compared to going out to work. Well, it is working, but there is nothing. I absolutely adore fostering.
I agree. And I kind of think, why would you want to go and work in a job which doesn't give you satisfaction when you can earn more money? Now, obviously, there are costs and so on, but actually, because it's tax-free, and especially if you have 2 children or more, and obviously that's not why people foster, but you have to be available. It is a vocation, but it is also a profession, and it needs to be rewarded accordingly. I think if people maybe knew the ins and outs, more of them would foster for sure.
100%. It's so rewarding.
Yeah. And at that point, can you remember when you decided to foster, how old you were, if you don't mind me asking?
I always wanted to foster. I mean, I was married at 23, and I always wanted to foster. And that's why, and I had my own 2 birth children then. So that's why I child-minded. And then when, my life changed, so I was, 51? Yeah. And I'm a single carer. Yeah. And it works perfectly. Yeah. Absolute perfectly.
And I know a lot of people think, 50, 60, it's too old. But actually, most of the people we have coming through are people who've had children. They've waited till their children have got older and thought, what am I going to do? I'm in this house on my own. I have so much energy and love to still give. And those people, 100%, please apply. There is no upper age limit. As long as you are fit and well and interested in the world and you want to do good, we want to hear from you.
100%. And it's the best rewarding thing. It's tiring and it's hard times, but it outweighs. And when you see them little tots growing and changing, and when they say they're asked 3 wishes and that is to stay with your family forever, that is worth it. Doesn't matter. Pounds wouldn't matter, because that makes everything well worthwhile.
It does. It's been a journey. You're still on that journey. And as you say, as a single carer as well, would you say to people oh yeah, it's too hard, or no, you can still do it?
No, absolutely not. You can do it if you want to do it. It's the best thing ever. You've got such a good, strong social support work around you with your social workers and all the other team. I'm very lucky that my family are very involved as well. And I've got grandchildren the same age. So they just tell everybody they've got 2 extra cousins. And we've got a family tree up on the wall, which has got the girl's name on. Everybody is just a part of our family. So it's not like working. No. It isn't. Just life is as it is with these little girls included in it.
Amazing. Are there any benefits, would you say, to being a single carer?
Yes, I think there's lots of benefits, to be honest, because you've got all the time in the world. You haven't got to worry about somebody else coming in the door to worry about feeding. You can, if the child needs taking to clubs, whatever, it's just your time. So you've got all the love in the world and all the time to give these children. And you don't need, you can cope with these things on your own. And I just think being a single carer is nice. The girls have got that one person that they can trust.
Yeah.
And no, I think it works perfectly being a single carer. I don't think you need to be in a partnership. I think you've got, as long as you've got the right support, which we have, then it doesn't make any difference.
Well, look, it has been a pleasure and a joy, as always. And I'd just like to thank you on behalf of Apex and the children that you've looked after as well for what you do.
Thank you.